Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world or whatever time you are watching this video. So, guys, I'm just gonna, getting to do a small video on a pressing matter that's affecting a lot of us here in Ontario, and it's in the GHTA. It's the Greater Toronto Halton area, and it's the increase of automobile thefts. So for the past few years, there has been a significant increase annually in automobile thefts in the Greater Toronto Halton area. And most notably in the Peel region. So Peel region is Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon. So far for 2024, up to October 24th, there has been over 5,500 SUVs stolen in the Greater Toronto Halton area. Now, there has been investigations being conducted, and I'm just gonna read an article from the Global News where they have cracked down on some of the perpetrators of these, you know, of who are responsible for the automobile thefts. So it says that dozens charged and hundreds of vehicles recovered in Ontario auto theft probe. So the article goes to say dozens of people have been arrested and more arrests are expected in an ongoing investigation in auto theft and fraudulent vehicle identification numbers in Toronto. And, most people, vehicle identification numbers is otherwise called the VIN for your vehicles. So it goes on to say the investigation, dubbed Project Thoroughbred, began in July and focused on auto theft rings involved in VIN fraud, as well as so called chop shops, where stolen vehicles are taken apart and prepared for shipment overseas. So they said more than 300 charges, including several counts of using forged documents and the possession of stolen property, have been laid against 59 suspects, and more than 360 stolen vehicles have been recovered to date. So warrants have also been issued for the arrests of more than a dozen others, according to the police. So Superintendent Ron Taverner said the investigation uncovered an alleged scheme involving the registration of fake VINs by employees at, guys, you would not believe this, employees at a Service Ontario location. So Service Ontario is where you go to register your vehicles, get your automobile paperwork, your vehicle registration. So can you imagine that you go to this government office to get the registration for your vehicles, and this is where the fraud is happening? So he said employees are alleged to have knowingly used fake documents provided by the suspects to make it look like the VINs were legitimate, and then registered Ontario license plates to the fraudulent VINs. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I can't believe that this is happening in Canada. So the article goes on to say the stolen vehicles were then sold to unsuspecting buyers at a discount, he told at a news conference. None of the Service Ontario employees alleged to be involved have been arrested at this time, but Taverner said they will be. Police said they also found chop shops across the city where stolen cars are dismantled over a short time to make them harder to trace. So when you see all these vehicle thefts in the news, it's a syndicate that they're going around, so they know where the cars are, the homes that the cars are parked, and with their syndicate they go around and steal the cars and just bring them to these chop shops. So, you know, it basically makes it very hard for the police to find and trace these vehicles, because they go to the chop shops, they're dismantled quickly, and then with them getting the fake documents from Service Ontario, it makes it really hard for police. So to my understanding, a lot of the times police, once you report that your vehicle is stolen, police, they basically just don't bother anymore, because it's close to impossible for them to find the vehicles. So the article goes on to say the results of the investigation were announced on the same day the Ontario government said it would create a new provincial offense for fraudulent vehicle registrations as part of broader efforts to combat auto theft. And the Transportation Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria said Friday that proposed legislation would create a new Highway Traffic Act offense of knowingly providing a false vehicle identification number when applying for a vehicle permit. So, in an update on November 1st, and this is according to CBC News, it says a Toronto police link Service Ontario staff to fake VIN scheme as Ontario proposes penalties for auto fraud. So the penalties are, if convicted, new penalties include a fine of up to $100,000 and 6 months in jail. So at least, they're doing something, to try and combat, this auto theft ring. So VIN fraud involves replacing the VIN for a stolen vehicle before reselling it. The proposed provincial legislation would create the new offense under the Highway Traffic Act for knowingly providing a false VIN when applying for a vehicle permit. So if you know that it's fraudulent, and I don't know how that they're going to prove this, but once they can prove that you knowingly did that, then you are subjected to $100,000 fine and 6 months in jail. So the article goes on to say that when a vehicle is stolen, the VIN is flagged across North America to prevent it being sold. So this is where the fraudulent VIN numbers come in at the Service Ontario office. Boy, I tell you, but criminals are replacing the VIN plate, often with one from a comparable vehicle that has been totaled, legally exported, or one registered in another province or U.S. state. So the article continues to say that Service Ontario workers involved in the fraud, and at a separate news conference on Friday, Toronto police, they said they have recovered more than 360 stolen vehicles and arrested 59 persons. And they said that, more arrests are to come. So guys, so basically that is what's happening for, in the case to crack down on these VIN fraud and vehicle thefts going on in the Greater Toronto and Halton area in Ontario. And just a little bit of context. So far in 2024, the 10 top most stolen vehicles in Ontario. So I'm going to, run up the list, and I'm going to go from number 10. So the 10 most stolen automobile is and this is as put out by Best Buy Insurance. So there's a blog, Best Buy Insurance. So they put out this list. So coming in at number 10 is the 2021 Acura RDX. At number 9 is a 2019 Honda Civic. Number 8 is a 2021 Jeep Wrangler. Number 7 is a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And number 6 is a 2020 Ford F-150 series. Number 5, you have the 2020 Land Rover Range Rover. Number 4, the 2021 Toyota Highlander. And number 3 is the 2022 Dodge Ram 1500 series. Number 2, it's a 2020 Lexus RX series. And the number 1, the number 1 most stolen vehicle in Ontario, and this is as of September 2024, is the 2020 Honda CRV. So if you notice, guys, these are all high-end vehicles, so if you have any of these vehicles, you guys just need to, take better care, because you never know. You may park your vehicle and when you come back, you only find the spot. Well, anyways, until the next video, I want you guys to continue to like, share, subscribe, and also comment on this new bit of news item. All right, thanks, and see you in the next video.